Good morning. Welcome to our Red Short webinar. My name is Nathan, and today we're going to be discussing malicious QR codes. And if you'd like to find the related article, you can see them at this link or in your go-to chat box. For those of you who did not scan the QR code on the title slide, it redirected you to our webpage displaying this warning message. And the message briefly explains how criminals use QR codes and when to be wary around them. During the Super Bowl, Coinbase ran a 60-second ad. This ad featured a color-changing QR code bouncing around the screen, imitating the iconic bouncing DVD logo. When scanned, users were directed to their promotional page. New users would be offered $15 of free Bitcoin when signing up, and current users were entered into a $3 million raffle. This has been a small controversy in the industry recently, as some have claimed it encourages users to scan unknown QR codes. QR codes are used in a range of malicious attacks. They can be used for phishing attacks, also known as phishing, QR ishing, Q phishing, in an attempt to steal user information. They're used to spread malware and drive-by downloads, where visiting a site initiates a malicious software download. QR codes can also be used to connect to malicious networks, allowing attackers to view visiting web pages, user credentials, and payment information while you are connected. QR codes can also make monetary payment requests so the attacker can collect fraudulent payments from victims. And other uses include adding unfamiliar contacts, initiating phone calls, composing emails, and sending text messages and downloading apps. Recently, there have been a few notable instances of real-world QR attacks. In Austin, Texas, parking meters were defaced with stickers bearing malicious QR codes. The State Bank of Indiana had to tell its customers to use caution when scanning QR codes for transactions, going so far as to make multiple tweets to provide users with safety tips. Lastly, there has been an uptick in criminals using QR codes in malicious and phishing emails. This is because QR codes can get around content filtering protections put in place by email providers. Additionally, when users scan a QR code, they are now viewing the page on their phone rather than their computer, and phones usually provide fewer protections. Attack using QR codes are fairly cheap and easy to make. For an example, an attacker would probably use a typo-squatted domain. A typo-squatted domain is a URL that differs from the intended URL, usually with either misspellings or different endings that do not belong to the person or business that the victim intends to visit. These are commonly used in malicious attacks as a way to fool the victim into believing they are on the correct website. Using the typo-squatted URL, the attacker will then make a replica website to fool the users into providing credentials with either a phishing attack or to spread malware in a drive-by download attack. Then they go to one of the many online tools, such as a QR code generator, and generate the QR codes for free. After generating the QR code, the attacker needs to place the code somewhere where people will find it. This could be fake posters or signs, stickers, or replacing existing QR codes in legitimate spaces. Finally, when the victim scans the code with their phone, they will be directed to a malicious website. In this example, we see a JavaScript alert box displaying the traditional steps during a drive-by download. That'd be happening in the background while the web page is loading. The victim, though, will only see the menu and proceed as normal. When scanning QR codes, there are a few ways to avoid being scammed. Consider if the QR code is from an unknown or suspicious source. For example, if there is a QR code in places that aren't usually QR codes, such as on a street sign, or in less likely to notice places like a poster in a restaurant bathroom, don't scan those. Also avoid oddly placed posters or signs on the street where there aren't normally posters advertising a product. Don't scan QR codes received via email. As mentioned earlier, QR codes get around email content filters. Plus, they could just send you the URL. Ensure the QR code has not been replaced, pasted, or stickered over. Always view the URL before clicking and check to ensure it is the URL you intend on visiting. Use the default camera option on your phone. Most devices, such as Samsung and Apple, have a built-in QR scanner with their cameras. Many of the third-party scanners will follow a QR code without pause. While it seems convenient, it removes the ability to safely turn back from the page if you notice the link seems malicious. Thank you for joining me today. If you have any questions on the subject, you can contact us via Jim McKee at jimmckee@wapaclabs.com. And if you are not a member yet, please consider signing up on our portal, redskyyalliance.org. Membership is free and will give you access to other Red Sky Alliance content.